We're gonna get started, and I'm just gonna set up the stream literally live on air. All right. Cool. I'm gonna have to restart Discord. That's good. Hopefully, there's no issue. I'm just killing time. Let's turn that on. Apparently, didn't work. All right. Well. Oh god, I did that again. All right. There we go. Get that going. Just, he'll answer at some point in time.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey. We're live, and I'm just kind of doing this on the fucking fly, so.
All right, it's cool. Let's do it.
Let me spam once real quick. Alright, spam is done. Let's invite you to the party. Let's get going. I almost went back to bed when I realized what had happened.
I'm glad you didn't. Sorry about that.
No, I did the same thing to you.
No, it is because after that yesterday, I assumed okay, that time you gave him time because yesterday he thought I meant his time. So maybe I assumed okay, he's just operating off his time. He means really 9:30 my time.
You're cutting out a little bit. You might want to lower your threshold.
Oh, let's see.
Yep, check that out real quick. I'm going to check other things out real quick.
How do I sound right now?
Pretty good. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
I want to clarify what happened. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I was supposed to be on Chobo Weekly, so I could plug this and also, do the show. But I was really tired, and I set my alarm thinking about my time because I was tired. Not because it's... Oh, I should tell the stream something not retarded. Okay, hold on.
Do you play Final Fantasy 14? I'm noticing the background there.
I did, and I still kind of do on and off. But yeah, that was a terrible cutscene. I took that picture as soon as I saw that happen. It hung on that face for like 5 seconds. That's the ninja leveling section.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think we'll just get started here.
Alrighty. Alright, so we got Born Gosu and Forms Bear Sauce. Excited about this. Gold action.
Yeah, so I tried to get, because I only did get one suggestion, so I tried to get a decent balance of games across leagues and teams.
Okay.
And also games that weren't incredibly boring. And this game was certainly... I don't know, I didn't really watch these that much, I'll be completely honest, but it'll be more interesting that way. In the top left, spawning for Born Gosu, it is Hunter in all caps.
And in the bottom right, we have the Teal Zerg from Formless Bear Sauce. It is Wabbits. I'm going to be saying like Elmer Fudd the entire time.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to scream Hunter's name literally every time because... I mean, as funny as that is, I kind of want to do it, but I'm also not going to. Right, so
yeah, I respect that.
So right away, Hunter is walling off on the high ground, which normally you see people wall off on the low ground, especially on this map, because it's actually pretty easy, but no big deal. This is some gold level action. We do see Wabbit's going to grab 17 pool. I'm already doing it. It's a bad sign. Whenever I'm casting, sometimes I'll just start drawing boxes. And it's just like, no, that looks really stupid.
Are you a box drawer when you play?
Yeah.
Just draw random boxes everywhere? Yeah.
I am. So yeah, pretty standard macro opening from Wabbits. So far, pretty standard macro opening from Hunter as well.
Just could be a standard kind of game, I suppose, at least for now.
Yep. Looks like actually a second gateway being added on, so I mean, you really only see this in PvP, and like normally you could just be playing super defensively, but
This also could just be a Gold League thing.
Yeah.
Could just be, I got some minerals, screw it, why not put a gateway? It could be free balling it, just throwing down gateways, because why not? Very possible Gold League.
Yep.
I certainly did some silly things in my time in Gold League as a Terran player, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to my Gold League days.
Or it could be a calculated aggressive move by Hunter, so we'll see. See how it plays out. I don't want to downplay Hunter's strategic thinking here.
Yeah, well, he is going to get 2 adepts pretty much immediately, so this actually does apply a lot of pressure with this kind of timing. Because it's kind of weird. But
Although, there are some lanes moving across the map here, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a wall. It's going to be close. I think the adepts would finish just in time, and he does have a position to rally there. So I think he's going to just get this. Oh, man, it's going to be a photo finish. Lane's checking for the second. It's not going to be there. Adept is in position.
And out of it. And out of it.
Oh, so close. But he should still be able to clean this up without much of a problem.
Yeah, unfortunately does have to pull the workers just to be safe, but no harm, no foul. Just get those back on right away. Very nice. Get those back on gas. There we are. Alright. So yeah, 2 gates worth of added production. Still no expansion. You should really throw that down soon, but you know, like 2 gates worth of added production is actually kind of scary. Actually, a 3rd gateway.
Wow. So do you think this is some kind of all-in or a Stargate? All right, so he's really teching up before that Nexus.
I think this is a Gold League all-in.
Yeah, right.
Like I accidentally all-in and I didn't realize that what I was doing was all-in.
Yeah.
And now I've done that. Alright, getting out a Stalker to shoot away at this Overlord, because one problem with adepts, they do not shoot up, and now we will see the Nexus.
There we go. So what do you think we'll see out of this Stargate? An Oracle or a Void Ray maybe? Or some kind of push to deal with roaches? What do you think?
I mean, normally we see Phoenix, because, you know, it's kind of just the standard. Phoenix very good against
true. Right. We'll see.
Yep. Could be Void Ray.
Yeah, I'm thinking the sense of an all-in. Maybe you want a Void Ray to deal with roaches, but...
Yeah. I mean, he did expand, so I don't think this is quite as all-in. Now adding on a Robo.
Oracle. Alright.
Alright, so it will be the option I didn't fucking say. Great. Good. That's fine. Meanwhile, back at Wabbit Space, he's actually doing a pretty good job of spending his money, although he's really low on workers. I'm wondering if he was expecting an all-in and just didn't get one. But he's really, like... He could be way more ahead on workers right now if he wanted to. You see, like, even now he is still 10 ahead, because Hunter is actually doing a pretty bad job of probing up here, but...
Yeah, no probes in production right now. For this count from since I started. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna stop counting now.
I was about to say, I'm gonna have to mute you if this keeps up.
It's still no probes in production. This is
I mean, like at least he does have the one base he has saturated fully, but he's gonna you're really gonna have that expansion saturated before it starts next time. All right. Well, also double robo off one base is kind of sketchy. He's gonna have a lot of trouble spending that money. But hold that thought. Here comes an Oracle flying into the main, seeing that in fact Zerg units exist, and there we go. Beams of death. Oh. We'll get scared away by the queen. We'll get scared away by a second queen. And we'll see the army. Alright. So pretty boring Oracle, if I'm being completely honest. This is...
At least he didn't throw it away.
Yeah, no, he does actually not even lose all the shields on it. Just loses a tiny smidgen of health. And
yeah, but it kind of just looks like the Hunter is just really just throwing down random buildings right now. Yeah. Off one base, 2 robos and a Stargate. It's very ambitious, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I feel he's a little... I would say this is more uninformed than anything. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is something that
does have that sweet Stalker skin though.
Yeah, that's important. He also has he also has the immortal skin if you look at the production tab. And there's also, never mind, there's no longer a stasis ward. It's been triggered by the Zergling. And here we go. This
Oh,
is
wow,
actually
nice.
a lot of Ravagers. Like, this is
Yeah.
actually a decent amount of Ravagers. Let's see if Hunter can hold on here. Ravagers engaging onto the army. Full army not engaging just yet. Gonna back up. Going to shoot away at this pylon. No Mothership Core. Mothership Core not quite in play yet. There it goes. Ravager Pile's missing everything, and we will see an overcharge. Fighting under the overcharge. Kind of questionable decision. And this is going to get pushed back with the Immortal.
Yeah, I think really Wabbits would have been in good shape there if he just backed up, but he kind of allows Hunter to get some free kills and some more time to regroup here. And actually, I think he has enough to hold us quite easily with the Immortal and the Stalkers there now.
Yeah, we also has another Immortal about to finish. And he's actually engaging on top of this. Going to focus down that Ravager. Ends up losing a unit or two, but actually not the worst trade. Especially now with that second Immortal coming down the ramp. Here we go. Re-engagement, but with the overcharge and the double Immortal, this Roach Force is not going to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good idea to attack. I think had timing with it, but just really poor engagements. You can't be fighting under those overcharges. It's just too much with the Immortals out as well.
Yep, so now we will see. I mean, Wabbits is obviously still in a pretty good spot. He's got a good number of workers. He has a third. He's getting +2 attack.
Yeah, the only thing he can really say out of that is that I don't think Hunter really macroed well behind that, so it wasn't as big of a loss as it could have been.
Yeah.
He still only has 39 workers. He's still down 12 to Wabbit's 57 drones right now. He's down at least 15 drones right now, so not a great spot.
Yeah, I honestly think Hunter, if he kind of tightened up the whole worker thing and like kind of knew exactly what he can do off of, you know, how many bases, like he'd actually be a pretty solid player. His macro's not that bad. He just kind of doesn't know what to do with it.
No, I mean, he's got a good comp right now for what he saw. He saw roaches and he got, okay, I got stalkers anymore. So he's got a decent comp. But I think his decision-making early on leaves a little bit to be desired. Does get the revelation, though, so he's going to keep an eye on that roach ball.
Yep, mostly Ravager Ball, but hey, I'm sure you play not Zerg. That's fine. Ball is literally like 90% Ravager, I think. Alright, well, we do have a Hydralisk and we do have an Infestation Pit, so let's see. We should probably see Lurkers, should probably see Hive, all that fun Zergy stuff. And we will also see a move out from the Wabbits with the Roach Ball followed by the Ravager Ball.
Really, I think the only way this doesn't kill Hunter is if Wabbits again fights under overcharge.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of see at this point that Wabbits just has the better economy and is really able to use it effectively.
Oh, will that Stasis Ward finish up? I think it might.
Oh yeah, even gonna slay down a second one. It looks like Wabbits is focusing on this third that he's assuming is here, which he will find mid-construction. This is gonna have to be canceled. There is not a chance this finishes. Yep.
All right, good. He does get to cancel, but he's actually going to engage into this.
Yeah, here we go. Immortals are going to trade as best they can, but there's a lot of Immortals here running into the Stasis Ward.
Oh,
actually getting a huge Stasis Ward, and then getting another huge Stasis Ward. Will actually allow him to fight this if he chooses, and he certainly will. Losing a good number of Immortals. But at the end of the day, like, there's just so many Immortals compared to the number of Roaches and Ravagers that can actually fight.
Everything else is Stasis Ward's going to pull this out?
These Ravagers are actually really starting to creep me out. They're, like, running in place. Alright, whatever. Good, it's over. Alright, well, here we go. Engagement part 2 will happen. Unfortunately, a lot of these Immortals are a little far forward, and as a result, they kind of loses 3 Immortals for free. But here we go. We'll get repelled, but yet again, like, Hunter is kind of on the ropes here. He lost his third that he was trying to build. You know, he's got a fourth, like Wabbits has a fourth that is just all around not the best. Wabbits appears to be fed up with
again,
Stasis Wards.
Yeah, Wabbits macroing really well behind this, has now 16 Hydralisks and 9 Roaches and 4 Ravagers ready to go once again. He's going to move across the map with those Overseers to avoid another brutal Stasis Ward.
Yeah, that's 5 Overseers. He's done with this. He's not having the Stasis Ward. Alright, the Oracle will fly over this and die over this. Rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, this is just so much Zerg. I don't think Hunter's really going to be able to hold on. I mean, he does have 2 disruptors, so that's something, but...
He's awkwardly close to that stasis sword. Okay, he triggers it.
Yeah, it does trigger it here. Alright, well, here we go. These gateways are actually forming a complete wall off. Disruptor shots not able to go through buildings.
Oh, no.
So now
that could have been a juicy shot right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... I'm pretty sure that might just be it. It's pretty bad. I mean, he does still have the disruptors alive, so if he can somehow, like, get a chance to fire with them and hits, like, the first half and second half of this now massive army with reinforcements. Well, here we go. Does get
Ooh, that's a brutal shot.
Yeah, that is pretty much the perfect disruptor shot. We'll go for another one. Gets a good chunk of these units, but he's just down to 29 supply at this point, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it's a little parting shot, I think, right there. But that's all it's going to be, because I think even with those brutal shots, Rabbit should be able to clean this up and get the win. Oh, another! Oh my god!
Yeah, disruptors will mow down a lot of units, but there's just a lot more units, unfortunately.
I think Hunter had a chance there when he was at that choke. If he could have gotten those disruptor shots then, he could have maybe held this again.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this play. I mean, he obviously, and there will be the GG. I like this play. He kind of messed up that first, that first set of disruptor shots. But really, he did fine. If he just tightens it up a little bit, that would have been a pretty clean game.
Yep. Definitely what killed him early on, though, was the lack of pro production at the beginning. He caught back up eventually. Early on, there was too many gaps in pro production. I think if he tightened it up a little bit and kind of maybe just get a better sense of what buildings he needs early on in the game, he could be a pretty strong player.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just noticed I actually pulled one game from every series.
Oh, very nice.
I watched like the first 5 minutes of this, and I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. Solid enough. I enjoyed this enough. So we will have D-Life in the top left. You know what? You can have D-Life. I'll do Seeker, considering we played this week. In the bottom right, spawning for Team Unrivaled, it is Seeker.
And in the top left, we got the blue Protoss from Team Daily Life. It is Sim Prime.
All right. 2 casters, opposing teams coming together to cast this game.
The rivalry is on, so let's see. Yeah, this is a hotly anticipated match. I'm really looking forward to see how Sim Prime plays Seeker, who's one of the, I think more respected diamonds in the league. That is Seeker, well, most well known anyway, I should say, for sure, and indeed well respected by many people, I'm sure. Sim Prime has been around for a while, but too, he's not a rookie by any means, but last season didn't get a ton of playing time in CTL anyway. I think he got a little bit of time in All in the Nights, but this season he's really playing a lot, and he's probably gonna be a staple on the Daily Life teams going forward.
Yeah, well, Seeker will pop in. Sees no expansion just yet, but we'll walk in and see a very macro opening. Really set up for that Reaper wall in the expansion, or in the main, and we'll actually see an eBay block on the expansion. Meanwhile, this probe's doing things.
It's got dreams.
Now that I have played Protoss, I know what a doing things probe looks like, and this probe is doing things. This is a sketchy ass probe. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's questionable integrity with that path that it took.
Like it is. That is fucking. Get that shit out of here. Also, hello.
It has no interest in scouting. Let's put it that way. Scouting is not in its mind.
Yep. You see, I knew it. I know what a piece of shit probe looks like. Oh, Sin Prime.
And awkwardly, Seeker's probably waiting for this, for like a probe to come down and make a nexus and see that block, but it's not happening. And Seeker's probably wondering what's going on as well. I think.
I mean, this is definitely all right. This will be Proxy Stargate. I was about to say this is probably Proxy Stargate. Would not be too surprised. I mean, like Proxy Robo's okay on this map, but Proxy Stargate's like really annoying on this map actually.
Yeah.
Like this third location is weird, and oh man, Seeker will walk right into the Zelnaga watchtower and see in fact no proxy. So he may be playing a little more safer than he intends to be. He's really... If you look at the path this Reaper is taking, it's driving around looking for something. Seeker definitely has some idea that something's up.
But I think Sim Prime might be just in the perfect position to not be seen.
Yeah, they say what they say the best proxy location is. It's the one your opponent doesn't expect it to be at.
That's right.
All right. Well, this Reaper and SCV will meet this Adept in the middle of the map, in which the Adept wins that fight every time.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate loss for Seeker there.
Yep, and we will see this SCV drive on in to the main. Meanwhile, we have a Void Ray coming out of the Stargate here. I'm a little surprised this is Void Ray, because I would expect it would be an Oracle. Okay, well, this engineering bay will finally get cleaned up. I mean, Sin Prime's got to do some damage with this, right? Like, you can't just have a proxy Void Ray or two.
Yeah, you would think. He's gonna wait for the second before pushing out, but you would think you go Oracle because he's still really behind because not having that Nexus set up yet. So you would think he'd want to go for some quick, hard-hitting damage with the Oracle, and then try and catch up back up that way. But it looks like he wants to get some, really hoping that the Void Rays get their money's worth, maybe kill a couple units and hang around longer than an Oracle would if it gets chased off by Marines or whatever. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Alright, well, we do see finally 3 Stalkers warped in. The thing is, like, there's no way he's busting Seeker's ramp. If Seeker just wants to sit on top of his ramp, like, which it looks like is what he's going to do, like, there's a bunker up there, there's a complete wall. SCV's even pulled to repair this bunker. Void Rays will immediately jump onto this. We'll take out one of the Cyclones, but again, like, it's just so hard to break up this ramp when, especially now without prismatic alignment.
Yeah, I don't think that was a great trade for Sim Prime. I guess the Cyclone, but he does lose a lot of Stalkers and Adams in the process. He's going to try again, though. Cyclone comes back out. I mean, he might be able to chip away at that. Oh, well, no, the repair's going to go down. I was going to say maybe he could just try chip away, but with those SCV there, it's going to be pretty tough. So yeah. He's doing a nice job holding this off right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much perfect. All right, we do see one of my favorite things to do in this situation, which is just, like, just shoot this thing. Be annoying. Alright, so Seeker will be forced to move that back into his base a little bit, a little greedy. But yeah, I mean, like, this is basically, like, the most macro defensive way you can do this. He's even repairing up the command center a little bit. Like, Sin Prime's not going to get the damage he wants out of this. He is obviously transitioning out of it. He's got his Nexus about halfway done as his expansion, but right now, like, there's just nothing happening here.
But Sim Prime's going to continue to be annoying, and behind this, he is getting his second base almost up and ready here. He's building a Robo, about to finish it back at home, so he's not completely all in. It's really just more of a contain than anything, and he's successful in that at least. I
mean, I think it was kind of an all in, but like, with the way all ins are kind of right now in Legacy of the Void, like, you can kind of just, if you can contain long enough, it's not the worst. I guess all ins have always kind of been like that if you can do the damage. But I think this force is not long for this world. There's like 3 Cyclones, 2 Vikings, and a lot of Marines now. And yeah, here we go. Going on the ramp. Beautiful force field, though. Just basically keeping up the contain in the most annoying way possible. Just keep force fielding the ramp. What's he going to do?
If he could pick off that Viking, that'd be especially annoying.
Yeah,
he did somehow get that.
He did pick off one of the Vikings, but now actually will just choose to drive away with what units he has left.
That's probably wise.
Yeah, so very well held by Seeker. Takes basically as little damage as possible, but also very well done by Sin Prime to recognize, hey, this isn't quite working out. Let's just do what I can and then take everything home with me. It's also always the awkward part where it's like, do I keep making things out of the
Stargate? It's there.
Like, it technically can make units. Alright, so we will actually see a transition immediately into Robo Bay. So is this for Colossi? Or something else?
I gotta think it would be Colossi, right?
Maybe? The one problem...
Support Bay is coming out.
Right. So the one problem, though, is, like, Seeker did make Vikings. He knows Seeker has Vikings. And Seeker has the infrastructure to build Vikings. So if he goes Colossus, like, it's just gonna die. to the Viking count if Seeker wants it to.
Right now it's 2. It's not an insurmountable amount of Vikings, but as soon as Seeker catches wind of that, he'll have a head start on getting some Vikings out. So we'll see how they decide to play this out.
It'll also be Disruptor.
And it's going to be Disruptor, yeah.
So that's interesting. I like Disruptors. I think
like you said, with the Vikings out, that's a better move.
Yeah, especially just because like Seeker really, I mean, like he has the infrastructure. By the time the cycle, this ad will get in and see some stuff before the shade does not finish. But the thing is, like, by the time these by the time these Colossi would get here, like the amount of Vikings or the amount of medevacs. Because that's the kind of the big hang-up for Terran, right? It's like, I don't want to make Vikings, because if I make Vikings, I can't make medevacs. But by the time those medevacs would get there, like, that's a pretty decent amount. Okay, that adept's going to get absolutely murdered, but not before killing a Marine with the friendly fire. Very annoying.
That was kind of a cute little suicide move right there.
Yeah, I don't even think that actually was worth it in the trade. I think that was just a dick move, to be honest. Very well done.
Didn't burn some medevac energy. Gotta factor that in.
Yeah? You have to factor that in. Makes his feedbacks work worse, technically. Alright, well, Seeker will push out now. He does have a pretty sizable army advantage. He's got about 8 supply now over his opponent, but...
Simprime, I think, noticing that scouting Marine there and maybe wisely deciding, let me just wait and see if something's coming my way so I can hold on to that defender's advantage. And yeah, he's going to scout this.
Yep, very nicely done. Nice Phoenix hallucination. So here we go. Disruptor Ball going off. Unfortunately, does not catch anything. That Marine not getting the memo that they were backing up.
Ooh, he's gonna walk into those tanks, takes a couple shots before realizing he's got to back up.
I gotta do the big zoom out. This is a big fight. All right. Well, Sin Prime's getting his third behind this. He still has the disruptor advantage, and Seeker really doesn't have a good way to deal with the disruptors. Does lose a medevac there, so that's unfortunate, but does get a tank shot off at least. I mean, like, because really, what do you have that deals with disruptors right now as Terran? You kind of just have a bunch of Marines. And here we go. Is this going to be a Shaden onto the army?
No, I think he's going to cancel this. He's just going to look around.
Yep. All right, we'll bait out a stim as well. Yeah, basically just stalling as long as he can, waiting for this disruptor shots to get up. But Seeker basically just pre-splitting down here on the ramp. More than content to hold this position if he can. We'll also scout out the third with that Marine up there. I don't want to follow that Marine too much. Don't want to miss the action.
Seeker actually is going to go ahead and retreat.
Yeah.
Or actually, rather, he's going to move up, take a different route, and maybe going to try and hit that third instead.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get into position. Sin Prime actually doesn't know this. He's going to walk out here and kind of see that there's just no army here anymore. And here we go. That tank will siege on up. And yeah, here we go. Like, this is a really good position for Seeker. These Cyclones just spinning away at this Nexus. But here we go. Here comes the engagement. Sin Prime pushing forward. Marines will stem up. Disruptor shot will go out and actually go past the Marines. But that's Disruptor shot, not going past anything. Those Disruptors have just blown up literally everything. There's just so much power in this.
That was held perfectly by Sin Prime.
Yeah.
Doesn't even lose the Nexus where it looked like it was going to be easily taken out.
Yeah, I wonder if Seeker just underestimated the disruptor count, because like that was just a lot of disruptors that he really didn't have a way of dealing with.
Seeker does have a lot of tanks waiting for him back home, or although not quite yet in position. A lot of Marauders, a lot of tanks. So Seeker still has a pretty healthy bio ball back home ready to defend this. However, Sonic Storm is on the way. That's going to make this a little trickier for Sin Prime. He's going to scout this ball, and I think he's probably just going to go ahead and retreat and wait for Psystorm and some High Templars to come out before engaging him again, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem right now for Seeker, is although he does have his third and he's on equal bases, like, Sin Prime also is just beginning to choose his tech routes and kind of go where he wants to. Like, he's going to have Psystorm, he's going to add on some Immortals, he's getting +1. Like, if he wants to, he's just going to throw down 4 more Gateways. Blink is coming up. He could really even throw down a second Forge if he wanted to. Another Phoenix hallucination will fly over the army. Not actually dying. There it goes. Now we'll fly into everything and see everything. So yeah, Seeker just kind of getting a nice defensive setup. I don't know, the atom count in Sin Prime's army is kind of high, actually. So I don't know how effective these tanks will be, and actually this tank is going to get a good number of shots off. Seeker actually has a very nice tank strata.
Definitely.
Very well organized, where you can't really shoot one tank without getting shot at by the next tank. Also, this proxy will finally get cleaned up by Seeker over here on the right.
Press F to pay respects to that proxy.
Oh, he's not even going to kill it. He's just going to kill the pylon and leave. How rude.
Doesn't even give it the proper respect of a proper death.
Alright,
It's going to just stay cold and unpowered for the rest of the game.
Seeker will drop actually at this 4th that's going up. 2 atoms being warped in. But, like, I don't know. I feel like Sin Prime's really got to do something about this. Like, he's trying to warp in, but, like, this Nexus is still building. DT's now being warped in. That is definitely something about this.
Yes, it is. That is actually a clutch response, and yeah, he's going to have to be able to draw this back. Meanwhile, Sin Prime's trying to figure out a way to engage this tank line. I mean, Seeker, like you mentioned before, has pretty much have the perfect tank line set up. So it's really going to be difficult for him to engage in.
Yeah, he does have the Templar count now, which is kind of nice, but... You know, we'll just have to see. It's so hard to actually engage onto a tank line like this. Maybe if you go around, like, down this way, like, across from the bottom and to the left. But other than that, like, this is going to be a pretty rough tank line to break. I mean, let's not forget also, he does have, like, how many disruptors are in there? I'm trying to double-click on one, but they keep moving. 4 disruptors. 4. Okay. I could just hit you, but I'm kind of lazy. I want to cast with one hand right now. I mean, like, this is a lot of just stuff from Sin Prime. Like, he's kind of just got the perfect amount of tech. And Seeker now, even with the sensor tower, to see exactly the movements of this army, even gets a scan on it. Yeah, this has kind of got a lot less exciting. It's really hard. I mean, like, Sin Prime has his 4th, so, like, he's not in the worst shape. You know, he's got that 4th, he's holding on to it, he's getting charged, he's getting his upgrades, he's getting tech. But, like, really, what's he going to do? Like, he's on worse upgrades.
It's worth noting.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's worth noting that Seeker... Oh, here we go.
Here we go. We'll finally engage on top of this tank line. We'll go up. Those 2 disruptor shots will hit all of the bio, murdering them. Next disruptor shot will come out, gets a good chunk of the bio, storms to finish off what doesn't get hit. EMPs do go off on a good chunk of this Protoss army, but these 3 tanks on the bottom not yet able to fire, finally adding on their fire, but there's just so many Immortals in here still.
This was one of those Terran triggering engagements right here.
Yeah, but actually, now a bit of a flank from some extra bio. I can't tell if he was going for a drop or if that bio was just over there, but now it is Sin Prime's turn to run, except all these adepts are here, and all this bio is going to find that out the hard way. Will it be forced to run back home?
Sin Prime obviously taking I think the better of that fight, and plus has the bank and economy set up back at home to regroup and push out again whenever he feels comfortable doing so.
Yeah, that's the main problem. And Seeker took a pretty okay trade. Like, he killed pretty much all of the tech units. But Sin Prime can afford to remake his tech units, where Seeker really can't afford that much. I mean, like, Terran tech units are kind of cheaper than Protoss tech units, but, like, Seeker also lost all of his tech units and can't... Like, he just doesn't have money. He's just poor.
What Seeker does have going for him, though, is he's going to have a significant upgrade advantage. 3-3 about to finish up right now for Seeker, whereas Sin Prime still, I think, on just maybe on 2-2 in just a moment.
Yeah, so he does have that. But the other problem is he also has to kind of just hold on for scans with these command center or orbitals. He knows that there's DTs out. He does see that this army is now mostly zealots, along with a couple of disruptors. And here we go. These zealots will run in on top of these tanks and charge down, taking down both the tanks that are remaining in this army. And it's kind of the left of Seeker's tank line. That disruptor shot not quite hitting home, but those storms are going to hit home. And I think this may spell the end of Seeker. Yep, here we go. Even morphing the Archon on top of everything. And actually, is kind of still getting pushed back, but this adept reinforcement is going to kind of... I think this adept reinforcement is the final nail in the coffin. That ghost going down. And just Seeker is running out of bio. There's 2 Immortals even coming in.
I mean, Eevee holds us, the economy is drained, and with the Immortals now, I don't think
Yeah.
GG soon, I think, for Seeker.
Yeah, so very well executed game by Sin Prime. Went for his proxy sort of all in. When that didn't work, transitioned very well into a very normal style. And yeah, really made the disruptors worth it.
Well played there by Sim Prime, holding off, able to survive a kind of failed all-in attempt and transition into a pretty strong macro game and able to kind of choke out Seeker and take a nice economic advantage and get the win.
Indeed, very well done. We will head into our next game. I will hope that I didn't forget to have water nearby. I didn't. Nice. Alright. Do you have the prompts, or is it glitched out?
Oh, I got it. Sorry.
No problem. Sometimes it glitches out and it's really annoying. So we'll be moving on to a master sit. This is one of the games between Confed and between Kelso and Praise. We're going with. I'm sorry. All right, spawning in the top right. I will take the easy name out. That is fine. It is Kelso.
And in the bottom left, we have the yellow Protoss from Confed. It is Praise, or ASC Praise, or AS. Yeah, no, I'm not trying that. It's Praise.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Sequencer is an interesting map. I still don't know how to feel about it fully, to be honest.
Yeah, it's my matchup. It's my map this week, and I had to take it off my vetoes, unfortunately, just so I can get playing time on it. And yeah, it's kind of a strange map, I'm not gonna lie.
It's almost one of those maps that's so boring, but it's so executed well that I like it. But at the same time, it's also still really boring. Like, I like the idea of how it works. I like the idea of, like, there's a safe third, but it's not as good. And there's also a risky third. And you can kind of pick which one you want.
So you like it in spirit, you just don't like it in practice.
It's also, like, I like how it's, you know, it's very, like, laid out, stratified and all that. You know, but, like, also it's kind of just fucking boring. It's kind of just a bunch of squares, literally.
Yeah, I remember when I saw that on the Team Liquid map contest, like, preview or whatever. I just was, like, shocked about how crazy it just looked from, like, the preview.
There's also just a lot of bases on this map.
Yeah, it almost seems like gratuitous amounts. Like, fuck it, base right here.
Yeah. Alright, so we will see a very standard sort of opening from both players. This probe does get spat at, which will force him to drive away from that third that he so desperately wished to occupy. We'll get a scout off and see a pretty standard amount of things. We'll also get surrounded. Goes for the mineral walk a little bit too late for him to live. Yeah, so far, so standard.
Nothing too wild happened, so...
Alright, so I guess this is the part of where we just kind of talk. How you been, buddy?
I had a kind of a rough stretch in terms of StarCraft goes.
Yeah?
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to get it together here because I'm lineup this week for Daily Life. Against, I believe, Daunted. Yes, Daunted of Sonic Aftermath. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I am one of a dying race of low league players on UR at this point in time. So I am currently getting ready for my matchup against Fizbin from All In. I did play last week against Daily Life. I did play a game against Monkey where both of us had recently race switched off of Zerg for different reasons.
That's right. Yeah, I thought that was a cool matchup. I picked up on that.
I asked him after our match, which I ended up winning. I asked him why he switched from Zerg, and he's like, you know, I didn't like how basically I felt like I was doing the same thing every game. This wall is very complete. So these Zerglings will not get in. He basically was like, I didn't like how I was doing the same thing every game. Essentially, I thought it was kind of boring. You know, it just wasn't interesting to me. And I'm like, yeah, I switched because I can't stand TVC.
It drives you crazy that much, huh?
I actually race switched entirely because of TVC. That matchup is just abysmal. Alright, so this might be a Bane... Yeah, this is going to be a Bane drop over here on the right of Praise's natural. Unfortunately, a little bit too poor on gas to afford the other two Banelings right now.
Times is tough.
Yeah, the struggle is real. There we go. Fourth Baneling being morphed finally. And yeah, alright, Oracle will actually come out as well. We'll be driving across the map, but should not do a whole lot. Actually, there's really not that much to discourage this Oracle from just kind of getting in here and being a bully. Yeah, so we'll force a drone pull from Kelso, and yeah, Oracle will just barely get out too. Very well executed. And also, I believe that Phoenix actually saw the Overlord even down there. I saw that Phoenix driving around over there. So he should have some sort of idea that this is coming, but here it goes. Overlord will drive on into the natural. No pull just yet from Praise, but he does get the pro pull away. The Lings do their best to try to distract, but this Bane drop will do a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, really nice reaction there out of Kelso. He's not on the woods yet. Oh, no!
Oh, God!
Oh!
Oh. Alright, well, that Bane drop got real good. That Bane drop got real good. I spoke too soon.
Another case of the caster curse there.
Yep. Even in hindsight, it works. How disturbing. Alright, so now these Phoenixes are going to just sort of drive across the map and try to get revenge for their fallen workers. And this is the other thing is, Kelso kind of has like a lot of Overlord spread out, which is, like, he's pulling them back. Thankfully, he does have Overlord speed. It's always the most frustrating part of Zerg, where it's like, well, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and that Baneling drop did put him in a really tough economic spot. He's now down 12 workers, which is not where you want to be against a Zerg player, because they can really quickly turn that 12 worker disadvantage to something even worse after that, something like that, if they want.
Yeah, we see currently just a lot of drones being made, even a good number of spore crawlers just for safety's sake. This rock's getting pecked away at by two Zerglings. Praise giving that the respect it deserves by basically just ignoring that it's happening.
Actually, we do have a couple Phoenixes moving across the map here towards Kelso's side of the map, looking for some more Overlords. Maybe going to try and be annoying, pick up a Queen or a drone here and there, so we'll see what decides to get done.
Here we go. We'll fly into a good number of Queens, and we'll fly away from a good number of Queens. Actually, we'll lift both the Queens. He really doesn't have the Phoenix firepower to kill either of these Queens. But he does have the firepower to just annoy them. He's going to require another lift, yeah. We'll focus down one this time, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But, yeah, just require a third lift. Finally kills both these Queens.
Yeah, so maybe not energy efficient, but does accomplish the mission one way.
Yeah, very well done. Now we do have a good number of Lings moving over towards the right, actually. Looks like this is just going to try to bash its way up against this wall that's still very much here. Not quite sure what he was intending to have happen with that, to be honest. Yeah, and here we go. There's even another rally that's just going to walk into these adepts and die. So, I don't know. I really don't know what that was all about, but...
Zerglings are expendable, but I mean, you'd like to avoid throwing them away for no reason whatsoever, I would think.
Yeah. Phoenixes do go in and do a little bit more damage before being scared away by a Spore Crawler. So maybe that's what he's looking at. Solid number of adepts actually moving across the middle of the map, but are going to get attacked by Zerglings. Here we go. Shade in towards the main, but will be met with a lot of death.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate timing there for Kelso. I'm sorry, for Praise to be walking into that wall of Hydras.
Yeah, and this is certainly a wall of Hydras. Kelso's supply is actually really good right now. I mean, like, he's getting his upgrades. He's getting a healthy number of Banelings to go into Lingbane Hydra, which is really, really annoying when you have this number of Adepts and Phoenixes. It's like, oh, okay.
Resonating Glaives and Ground Weapons 2, it looks like, is going to be finishing up somewhat. Praise, that should try to help him climb back into this game, as well as the Disruptor. Seeing that the Hydras are on, Hydras have a tendency of getting pretty nice and clumped up together. So he's going to try and rip off some nice Disruptor shots here to climb this game.
Yeah, very good wall off on top of this ramp, so even if this debris does go down, which I can't imagine this debris is long for this world, he is still going to at least have something up there. And this is... Okay, that's 26 Banelings being morphed right now.
That's not an insignificant number of Banelings.
So this is no longer Lingbane Hydra. This is now just Bane Hydra. Here we go, walking right up the ramp. Shooting away, Disruptor shot will run down the ramp, kills a good number of Hydralisks. Overcharge will go, but here come these Banelings. Not the best force fields. He really doesn't have either enough force field. Yeah, he just doesn't have the Sentry energy. And now these Banelings are going to get up this ramp. Going to run a lot of Banelings into Disruptors and Gateways. Really not the best use of his Banelings. Almost kills all of the workers, but here we go. More Banelings rolling in towards the workers. Hydralis bullying away this army. He is forced to retreat. And Kelso just kind of taking a lot of damage. Even then, like, there's still a lot of Zerg left over. He's got to do some work here.
Yeah, I think he did an admirable job of holding that. The force field better. The Disruptor shots could have been a little juicier, but there's just too much. There's just too much Zerg.
Yeah. All right, Phoenixes will finally come home. Adept's like, dude, the fuck? Where were you? He's gonna try desperately to get this wall back up. Lings are gonna stream through what was left of that wall. And even the bigger problem for Praise is that he also lost a good number of workers.
Yeah, he's back down to a 15 worker deficit, which again isn't great. Ideally, you're not down 15 workers if things are going well for you.
I've heard that. I think Day 9 said that once. Yeah, now we kind of see the standard transition if we see this many Phoenixes, which is just head into Infestors, and also Infestors are just good units. Yep. So these Phoenixes will get in, finally find all these nice juicy Overlords, as well as noticing exactly the tech that's coming, which is going to be Lurker, along with the Infestors. He does see the Infestation Pit jiggling away, so he should have a pretty good idea.
He does get a good amount of Overlords, almost able to supply block Kelso, but not quite.
Yeah, actually, Praise is going to send all of these Adepts onto the creep. Will force the Lings to retreat, thankfully, by faking the Shade, and that will allow him to at least choose a better position than he's at now.
Kelso goes looking for the Adepts, but takes the wrong path, while the Adepts are able to escape back towards Praise's side of the map.
And meanwhile, Praise's Phoenixes are yet again on the hunt for these Overlords. We'll find them yet again, just being really annoying with these. Like, he's just constantly forcing Kelso's attention towards this and just picking off what he can, even getting a free Hydralis before driving on out. I don't know, I think Kelso's in a good spot. But I also think that Praise kind of has like a pretty good chance of actually making something of this game. Like, he's getting pretty good upgrades. Obviously, there's Ultralisks out, so that's kind of bad. Because he really doesn't really have like the robo count that he needs. Like, he's going into Storm, but this is also just a lot of Ultralisks. I think he's assuming this is going to be a mostly Hydralisk based composition, but we'll fly in the Phoenixes. We'll see. He should have seen a couple Ultras or two. And 6 Lurkers being morphed, along with 11 drones. Like, Kelso's just kind of taking the map. He knows that Praise really can't push out at all.
Praise seems to be committed to going into, like, Archon, High Templar, which is going to be great for those those Hydralisks and Zerglings, but the Ultras are going to kind of not really have a clear answer.
Yeah, I mean, You can see he's reacting though. He did throw down another robo, or at least had another robo. I don't know if it's new, but he is now making double immortal production. I think he's kind of just moving away from the idea of Storm, and he's just making the best of those High Templar and just making him Archons. Yeah, he's gonna get 2 more High Templar. These ones are probably gonna be Storm and Templars. But yeah, like he's trying to find what he can with these Phoenixes to really just delay this push until he has a slightly better Immortal count, but there's just no stopping this many Immortals right now. Or rather, Ultralisks.
Well, these Changelings are going to get in here, and they're going to see exactly what the comp is right now for Praise. And Arcalides, this Ultra, just wanders into the ball of Praise. And actually, that's kind of a big mistake for Kelso. Kind of just sacrificing a lot of units for no reason and putting himself in a bad position. These Lurkers will get a chance to... Oh! Alright, Baneling shot pretty much takes out almost all the Banelings.
Yeah, I mean, he killed a good number of the Lurkers, but he also, like, he's got to be a little careful, because you'll notice that these Protoss units have very low shields right now. Like, he's trying to wait for a Disruptor shot in order to take out this Lurker, and there it is, that Lurker will die. But, like, this entire time, like, Kelso's just been running around murdering rocks and such.
Unfortunately for Kelso, though, I think he really, with that poor of an engagement, kind of cracked the door a little bit open for Praise, where I thought it was a matter of time before Praise was going to lose. I think he kind of let him back in a little bit here with that really poor engagement.
Yeah, here we go. Disruptor shots.
Brutal Disruptor shots there, yeah.
Yeah, even following up with some pretty sick storms. We'll storm all over everything, cleaning up all of the tech of Kelso.
I mean, the economy of Kelso is still very much intact, but I'm starting to get a little concerned for him.
Yeah, we see Praise actually taking what I would honestly kind of consider a secret expansion. Like, this is not where you would want to be taking your 4th at on this map, I don't think.
No, not at all.
I mean, like, if Kelso gets wind of this 4th, like, it's dead, or this, it's a 5th, okay, yeah. If Kelso gets wind of this 5th, this thing is dead. Like, 5 cannons ain't gonna stop this Zerg that's gonna come crush this.
Oh, not at all. I think he's just counting on, like you said, this kind of being a secret base, or a forward base of operation here. It's gonna shade into some drones. Only a Queen there to stop it, so he should be able to get a good amount of drone kills here. Gonna take out the Queen first. See how quickly he can react. It does get a good amount of drones down before the Zerg Ultralisk team reacts, and yeah, he's gonna be able to clean that up pretty easily.
Alright, so Praise is actually kind of coming out ahead on that trade, especially considering he's kind of just using that as an excuse to push it over here on the right. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to keep sending in adepts to that base and just being annoying while he does his best to push in and take out more bases. And here we go, yeah. That base is going to go down. And here we go. Actually, an engagement here. All the Ultralists are going to run forward, but tons of storms all over that ramp and Disruptor shots will force a retreat.
That's a lot of Ultralists right now.
Yeah, Immortal count's pretty good, but that's also, like you said, just a lot of Ultralisks. Also, Great Spire is on the way, but no Infestors just yet. A little surprised.
Hey, he had pathogen glands too, research and everything, so he was going to commit to that that tech switch. But
yeah, I think he was just expecting way more Phoenixes, and now he sees there's not way more Phoenixes. Okay, you know, I don't need that. He's got to be a little careful here. Praise is actually kind of setting himself up for a flank. And that's actually what we're seeing. He really can't retreat that way, and he's going to have to try to go up a ramp where there's also just an Ultralisk. He's completely pinned in. He's just completely surrounded by Ultralisks, and this army is just going to get Ultralisks to death.
Yeah, that's just a ton of, even with the Immortals, and ton of HP just to have to barrel through.
Beautiful play by Kelso surrounding that army. That was kind of gutsy by Praise. You really can't push into that situation. Because if you get
doesn't
flanked
help
like
that. Yeah, it doesn't help that right now that Praise suicide 2 Immortals into the middle of a map, probably from a rally that he didn't correct in the middle of that engagement. And he's going to lose the Warp Prism. So this went real south for Praise real fast. After it looked like he was going to start climbing back into this game.
Yeah, very disgustingly done. Like, just that was pretty much the beautiful. That's the engagement you dream of as Zerg right there.
Absolutely.
So now Praise kind of has to like what's next for Praise is kind of his question, right? It's like, all right, well, that was really bad. I can't really afford to make anything good. Like all his gas has to go into Immortals. Yeah, he's gonna warp in 8 High Templar here and just make Archons, which is like he's got a pretty solid army, but for how much longer? But is this army really gonna be that effective? And now we have now we have 6 Infestors on the way, along with 3 Broodlords. Like, this is starting to get sketch. Like when your adept pressure, when your like little adept run-bys are being defended by Broodlords, that's when things are getting kind of hard to deal with.
Yeah.
We also see double Stargate now on the way for Praise.
Yeah, I think Praise has the game plan in mind. He's too far behind at this point. Shot climb.
Yeah, we can see like he's doing a good job of picking where his fights are at ever since that last fight. But like, you know, how much longer is he going to have that luxury?
Yep.
Here we go. Infestors are out. Will Fungal Growth a huge chunk of this army. And here we go. The fight will just happen. Storms all over the Ultralists, but now the Broodlord's really no good answer just yet. The Archon will finish up, but is getting pelted away by Broodlords. Now these cannons being pelted away by Broodlords. Like, this is just a bad situation for Praise.
Yep. I don't really see him realistic holding this. He's just wasted charge right there.
Yeah, like he even has to start warping in Stalkers just to be able to shoot these Broodlords. Does get one, but you know, like the longer this goes, like he's gonna have to keep picking off the other couple of Broodlords that are here.
He's doing a nice job holding, considering the overwhelming odds here. But it's gonna be tough to fully repel this, if not impossible.
Yeah, I mean, like this is just so much Zerg pressure coming out. Not to mention, again, Kelso just has the economy to just make stuff, and here we go. Fight will happen on top of this ramp, but immediately Fungal's going down on top of this Terran or Protoss army. I said Terran because like this is just how this reminds me of. It's just like whenever you see a Terran army get fungled and Ultralists just chew through it.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's going to spell the end of Praise. Maybe not officially, but I think we can say I don't think this game will go too much longer.
Yeah, just look at the supply. It's almost 70 difference now, 80 difference. So
yeah,
like you said,
we'll make a couple of DTs, and actually, funnily enough, there's no more detection here for Kelso, so this army is technically on borrowed time, but I think Praise is also on borrowed time.
Yeah, the infested Terrans are gonna take down the Stargate, you know, but he's gonna have to probably just retreat a little bit, regroup, and then go in for one last final push.
Yeah. I don't know. We're kind of just waiting at this point because Kelso's. Oh man, 2 Archons trying to get dropped onto these Broodlords. They do thankfully get out of the War Prism before they die, and actually we'll kind of kill up a lot of the tech units. But again, like one of these players can remake those tech units, and one of them can't.
Have a flood of Lings coming in the middle of the map here. Probably gonna try and get surrounding this army here and kind of trying to wrap this up if he can.
Yeah, unfortunately, Archons really like getting attacked by giant groups of Zerglings if possible. So that will force a retreat from Kelso, but again, like all of these trades are just so value for him. Like he's just so far ahead, and he has such
That
an
DT
economy.
up to 24 kills now. Executor.
Yeah, he's been doing some work.
Yes, he has.
Oh man,
Still,
Prey's trying to get this
Amount of
base
time.
down here, but he just can't. Like Kelso's just got so much map control with these Lings. This expansion is going to get canceled. I mean, you look at the worker count, you look at the supply. Like, I'm giving Praise credit, but this is starting to become a fantasy GG timing right here. And now all these Lings are going to catch out everything. Infester's coming in. Really ballsy blink forward. We'll get the fungal off to allow him to retreat, but you know, at some point, like, yeah, here we go. Brewlords are going to come in here. No fungal on the army, but like this is going to push forward. He tries to blink away, but again, like any unit he loses is just so much of his money at this point.
But hey, it's CTL. He's trying to play for his team here. He's playing for a win. He's not giving up.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen. It is StarCraft, but I'm not quite convinced something is going to happen this time around. Right, well, here we go. It looks like he is going to just kind of go for it on this base. You see 20 banelings.
One last Shepherd.
Yep, 20 banelings being morphed. Fungal on the Stalkers. Infester will fungal all the Stalkers. Ultralisk will chew through all those Stalkers, and that's kind of just what's left for Praise. And yeah, he will tap out finally.
And well played there by Kelso.
Yep.
And that win for Lit.
Now we move on to the actual game that was requested, and what will be the final game for this cast. Oh man, I did not sleep that much. I got about 3 hours, so this is getting a little rough, but we will make it through it.
Just one more. Ooh, a RVR, a random versus random. Look at that. You don't see that very often.
Yep, and even it's on Proxima, the most random map of all.
Should be an interesting game.
All right, spawning in the bottom left for Psystorm Academy, it is going to be the orange Protoss Ming.
And spawning in the top right, we have the purple Zerg from All Inspiration. It is the random player, Diamond Random, currently playing as Zerg, is Poliqui.
Yeah,
I believe actually pronounce their names.
Both players actually telling each other their races, neither of them lying. I don't know if there's technically a rule against lying in CTL about your random race.
Probably not. I would think.
I mean, like, can I just like play as random and be like, GLHF, I'm Zelnaga, LOL. There's probably some. Never mind. I'm not gonna theory craft this. All right, expansion going down for Poliqui, which is how I believe you pronounced it. So that way I can blame you if it turns out that's wrong.
No, she's correcting me at one point,
Fair
so
enough.
I'm pretty sure it's Poliqui.
And it'll be a 17 Nexus from Ming, nice and early. So yeah, pretty standard. A little even this little annoying. I always love watching this really annoying probe harass where you start mining the minerals so it stops the drone from mining that patch. I love it. Just like, what else are you gonna do with this probe? It's just gonna chill and make sure you're not about to die to something. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Oh, the drone just doesn't know what to do.
It's amazing micro.
Unfortunately, that probe will in fact collect some minerals, meaning he can no longer do his thing.
But I do appreciate the random versus random bro code there. Each other's races.
Yeah, ironically enough, Poliqui part of the bro code.
Yeah.
Pretty much the one player you can say is not part of a bro code.
For lack of a better term, the bro
Fair
code.
enough. Fair enough. Alright, so we should see the Cyber Core going down. It looks like Ming actually... Yeah, it went double gateway just to complete this wall off a little early, and as a result, his Cyber Core a little bit delayed. But no harm, no foul, you know. He's still getting his economy going. He's got double Nexus going. You know, he'll have double gateway for when this Cyber Core does finish. And his wall is going to be in time for any sort of ling pressure. Meanwhile, back in the base of Poliqui, just kind of standard Zerg stuff. We see the Overlord speed for the scouting. We see the Zergling speed for the fastlings. We see the third base for the money. Basic stuffs. It looks like the tech path of choice will be Robo this game for Ming.
Two Zerglings do sneak in to the is gonna be able to scout scout around the base a little bit, maybe pick off a worker or two.
Yep, Probes will unfortunately be forced to deal with this. It's actually kind of annoying. He does lose a small amount of workers there.
Yeah, Speed finished up just in time there to kind of dodge this around. Ab will get that though. Yep, tag team.
Good effort, good effort. Like the hustle out there.
That's right.
So yeah, actually a Warp Prism coming out. So I guess this is going to be a really annoying, aggressive sort of adept-based pressure. I mean, like, is this the 4 adept? I was trying to make like a stim joke, like a 2 medevac stim drop, but like, unfortunately, it doesn't have glaives. Actually, what this might be? This might just be put adepts in the natural and then force field the ramp.
Oh, that'd be cute.
And by natural, I mean third, but you know what I mean.
I mean, they are both random players. I don't want to discriminate. They do tend to be a little cheeky, a little cheesy in their ways.
Unfortunately, there's just 4 adepts in this medevac, so I can't be too excited.
Oh, 4 adepts in a medevac. That's actually pretty cool.
All right, you know, you can do what I meant. Unfortunately, there will be nothing exciting happening. I was really hoping to see that because it's been so long since I've seen that. I remember when Protoss would do that, and it's just like, well, that's cool. That's fun. Here we go. These adepts will unload into the mineral line. But will get flunked away at by the Lings and be forced to retreat, especially before those Banelings come and finish them off.
Yeah, kind of pulling a card out of the Terran playbook there, trying to hit like a little bit of 5-minute time in there on that third, but doesn't get too much accomplished there.
Yeah, and we'll actually see another Bane drop over here next to the main of Ming as it gets set up. This time, Poliqui not shy of money. She will have plenty of money to build these 4 Banelings with.
Sentry's in position to start cleaning up a little bit of these oval. Nicely spread across the base. It's been scouting pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, this Overlord is going to take the long way to make sure no one knows what he's up to. Alright, well, let's see if this one ends up being as juicy as that first one. No pull just yet from Ming. I don't think he sees this. And here we go. Banelings will rain down all over that worker line.
Oh my god.
The pull of sadness.
That is
it's always the worst.
As drop as it could be.
It's always the worst pull where you pull it and it's like, never fucking mind. The fucking Overlord's empty. It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's going to make the worker count 52 to 29, or 31 rather, right, as of right now, in favor of Poliqui.
Yeah, even more annoying, and this is one thing that always triggers me. Ming has a probe right next to that assimilator, but it's not actually mining from it. It's just looking at it.
That's the foreman.
Like, he's just watching to make sure that's going well. So it looks like Ming's just gonna actually push in with a ton of adepts and lings, or adepts and sentries and immortals. Baneling's actually getting beautifully force fielded away, but here they go, trying to find a way in, but no cigar. Even getting force fielded out, beautifully force fielded by Ming. Like, I can't say that was pretty much perfect.
Guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder can he snipe this Baneling nest before Hooks finishes? It's gonna be close. He's even getting a force field there, but no, centrifugal Hooks will finish up just in time. But no Baneling's able to make it in, but now here they go again. These sentries are going to start running out of energy sooner or later, but there's still just so many sentries.
And these force fields, wow, you can't make them drum up any better than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's pretty much just out of force field energy, so he's going to have to try to get to this third and, like, basically not lose everything to Banelings should they come down the ramp.
I mean, those force fields pretty much just single-handedly pulled them right back into this devastating Baneling.
Yeah, very well controlled by him. And the pressure is still on.
Granted, he has not made a probe in about a minute, so he's thrown all his eggs into this attack here, which is going fine, by the way, but...
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Protoss don't have eggs. Boom! Fucking roasted. Get out. Fuck you and your medevac bullshit. Alright, well, this Hydrosten will go down. This Evolution Chamber will go down. Yeah, this is just a really good spot for Ming now. Poliqui on the back foot, having to remake her Baneling Nest, having to remake her Hydra Den, which she hasn't yet started. These abs are going to shade in. That's okay. I was about to say that could be actually really bad if that goes off. But will not go off. Instead, he'll just choose to move down this ramp, and these sentries have their energy back. Gonna get flanked by these Banelings. Ramp will get force fielded. Unfortunately, not perfect, so he does have to spend one extra force field. Like, this army's on limited time. There's no mothership core to, like, pull the army back or anything. So, like, he's kind of got to kill this base and then get what he can. No force fields on the ramp this time. Plenty of Banelings streaming down. Will clean up all this adepts. But is enough damage done? I mean, he's even the worker count finally. He did lose his entire army, but he killed a base. He basically killed most of the workers at the base. Still has more adepts streaming in from the Warp Prism, which is now in the main, but there is probably just enough Zerg here or enough Protoss here to clean this up. I meant to say enough Zerg. I don't know why I corrected myself. But anyway, there's now enough Protoss here to clean this up. We'll try to snipe the Warp Prism with these Hydralisks. We'll get it, which means that this attack is officially and finally dead.
Wow, that was a wild attack. I mean, we're back down to a very low. Look at this, 43 to 39.
All right, everyone's
30 workers.
Everyone start over.
Basically, right?
Yep, Ming's just gonna go back to making probes. Poliquid is gonna start droning back up. And we're just gonna start the game over. All right, spawning in the top right.
Oh my god, what a wild trade right there. Okay, well here we go. Like you said, well we do have some aggression coming out from Poliquid here. Is moving some Zerglings, or thought about moving Zerglings across the map. Maybe she's gonna come around to this third base here.
Yep, Ling's getting in position, getting ready. We'll stream right on into this natural, but unfortunately, there are more force fields. God, Ming has really been on point with these force fields.
Yeah.
She will try to reestablish her third. Unfortunately, like, Ming having a third, like, you don't want to ever be equal in bases with Protoss, much less down as Zerg.
Baneling that's being rebuilt now, almost complete for the third time. That poor Baneling that's kept getting sniped.
Yeah, I think that's even on top of the bones of the old Baneling nest. Just insult to injury. So yeah, this is always kind of the awkward part of Zerg, where it's like, oh, I have to keep making units, but if I keep making units, I'm gonna lose, so I have to keep making drones. But if I keep making drones, I'm just gonna die. So you kind of just have to commit to one of the two options, or split it pretty much evenly. It looks like 9 Banelings will be the order of the day. She does have, thankfully, a pretty good bank, so she can at least, you know, get things going. She just doesn't have the larva yet. Also, 2 Changeling Zealots just hanging out.
We actually, coming into the natural here, we actually have a little Baneling and Zergling.
Yeah, nice little drop.
Some Mavs are warping in to take care of it. However, missing the Banelings, and here we go, Banelings rolling in. Does minimize the damage this time. Not nearly as tragic as the last time, but does get about 4 or 5 workers there, I believe. So
yeah,
still...
that was a pretty hefty chunk. I think that might have been closer to 7. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing is now, like, she's reestablishing her Hydra Den, but, like, there's Colossi on the way. This Overseer's gonna see that there's Colossi on the way. Like, 2 Colossi is kind of the limit. Oh, man. Never mind. 1 Colossi. That Overseer will contaminate that Robo facility. And we will see. Like, I mean, she actually kind of really needed that. Like, if she doesn't have that, these Colossi push is going to be actually... It would probably have been too much for her to deal with. And now she has a little bit extra time to just get something out to deal with this Colossi.
I love seeing contaminate. It's kind of like a underused little tool that the Zerg have. You don't see it really used that often, but it is a cute little thing you can do, especially against Protoss that has those high tech long build times like the Colossi.
Yeah, just especially in a low econ game like this, like, it's a really kind of useful tool. Alright, so just like a ton of Banelings being made now. Like, a good number of Hydralisks and just a ton of Banelings. And I guess her plan's just kind of roll into and just kill everything that's there. But I guess the other problem is Ming's kind of been forced to not make sentries. Like, he just doesn't have the gas to make sentries and Colossi.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be another Hydra Bane style again. This game as well.
So without any force fields, like, what's he gonna do against this?
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised he's off the force field game. I mean, that's what pretty much pulled him into his game to begin with. I would have just kept going with that style of play. Works very well for him in the early part for sure.
Yeah, he's almost up to a third Colossus now. This one changeling is really trying hard to get through the army. The army will thankfully let it pass, and then we'll die. Goodbye, buddy. But yeah, starting to push out. We'll try to secure the fourth. Good number of sentries warped in now, but here we go. Zerg force will kind of scout this out. Ling's streaming in towards the fourth. We'll force a reaction on him, Ming. He's got to be careful about moving his entire army. And you can see that he's really sketched out by that. He knows that that's not okay. He's going to push forward into actually a huge Ling-Bane Hydra force. He's got to be careful. Here we go. Engagement. The force fields are pretty good to start this off. He's actually kind of made a little like cup for all the Banelings to funnel through. Literally.
Oh my God, look at this.
Yeah, taking the long way around. But the problem is there's just not that much Protoss here. Like, the Colossi are all well and good, but there's nothing to tank for them. Trying to get this right.
I bet Ming is filthy at tower defense games.
Yeah, I was about to say. And oh, this Colossi getting walled in, not able to make it into the base. Banelings will sneak around the back. Banelings will kill literally every worker. That is literally every worker dead. And I think this is going to spell the end for Ming. Like, he had the force fields, but he just doesn't have the unit count to back up his Colossi.
Yeah, these Hydras are deep into the Protoss space here, and he may be able to clean it up with some forces. He does have some money, but I mean, I think that was an unrecoverable Baneling shot right there.
I mean, look at these supply, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's literally over doubled right now. This Hydralisk has decided to join the Protoss, apparently. Never mind. He's been revealed. Yeah, here comes the follow-up push from Polyqueen. I think this is going to spell the end of Ming, unfortunately. He had some really good force fields, but at the end of the day, like, there's just so many Banelings.
Yeah, he did about all he could there. I mean, that was about as good as a whole as you could have asked for with those force fields. I mean, like you said, he just didn't have enough. Didn't matter.
So now this fourth going down, which will kind of spell the end of the future of his economy. Yep, that'll be GG. Very well done. Thank you for Polyqueen for submitting that game and submitting the only game, because as you noticed, it was the only good one. Well, okay, the other ones were pretty good, but that was the best one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Alright, well, that'll spell the end for this. We will be back next week doing the same thing. At least I will be. I don't know about you.
If I'm invited, I would love to be back.
Alright, well, we'll figure that all out some other time. That'll be it. Because I said I would, I'm just gonna plug Duddle's little tournament thing. Duddle's having a... What was the title of that? I'm gonna look it up.
Who the heck is Duddles, I think?
Yeah, I think it's called Who the Heck is Duddles?
Very appropriately named.
Yep, go check that out. It's an open tournament, no league cap. Have fun, play some games, make some money if you're actually good at the game. Alright, well, I'm done. Do you have any plugs?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep. See you guys next week.